Big Bang Theory, Season 1 Episode 11. Series 01 Episode 11 The Pancake Batter Anomaly Scene, the living room of the apartment. Leonard. OOH. Again? Sheldon. Obviously you're not well suited for three-dimensional chess, perhaps three-dimensional Candyland would be more your speed. Leonard. Just reset the board. Sheldon. It must be humbling to suck on so many different levels. Cultural reference. Three-dimensional chess from Star Trek, a complex, multi-level chess game featured in the original Star Trek series representing intellectual prowess. Candyland, a simple children's board game. Expression. This opening exchange immediately establishes Sheldon's intellectual superiority and condescending nature, even in a game with a friend. His insult, comparing Leonard to a child playing Candyland, and his observation about Leonard sucking on so many different levels, highlight his lack of social filter and cutting wit. Penny, knocking and entering. Hi guys. Leonard. Hey, Penny. Did you get my mail? Leonard. Yeah, right here. How was Nebraska? Penny. Oh, better than North Dakota. Pause. I guess that joke's only funny in Nebraska. Sheldon. From the data at hand you really can't draw that conclusion. All you can say with absolute certainty is that joke is not funny here. Expression. Penny's attempt at a regional joke falls flat, leading to Sheldon's literal and statistically precise analysis of its lack of humor, further emphasizing his analytical mind and inability to grasp social nuances. Penny. It was the worst trip, everyone got sick over the weekend. Sheldon. Sick? Leonard. Here we go. Sheldon, running to opposite side of the room. What kind of sick? Expression. The moment Penny mentions sick, Leonard immediately knows what's coming, revealing Sheldon's well-known germophobia. Sheldon's dramatic and panicked retreat across the room underscores his irrational fear. Sheldon. I don't need you to guess, I need you to know. Now when did the symptoms first appear? Penny. Maybe Friday. Sheldon. Friday, was that morning or afternoon? Penny. I don't. Sheldon. Think woman, who blew their nose and when? Expression. Sheldon's interrogative, almost clinical questioning of Penny, demanding precise data about the illness. His increasingly agitated, think woman, is a classic example of his condescending and demanding tone. Leonard. Sheldon, relax, she doesn't have any symptoms, I'm sure she's not contagious. Sheldon. Oh please, if influenza was only contagious after symptoms appeared, would have died out thousands of years ago. Somewhere between tool using and cave painting, Homo habilis would have figured out to kill the guy with the runny nose. Scientific concept. Contagion, Homo habilis. Sheldon demonstrates his knowledge of disease transmission and human evolution. Expression. Sheldon's pedantic correction of Leonard's assumption, backed by a detailed and morbidly humorous, historical argument, showcasing his extensive scientific knowledge and his ability to construct elaborate scenarios based on it. Leonard. Penny, you'll have to excuse Sheldon, he's a bit of a germaphobe. Penny. Oh, it's okay, I understand. Sheldon. Thanks for your consideration, now please leave. Leonard. You'd better go before he starts spraying you with Lysol. Penny. Okay, well, thank you for getting my mail. Leonard. No problem. Welcome home. Sees Penny out. Turns to find Sheldon spraying the air with Lysol. Sheldon. What? Cultural reference. Lysol, a common disinfectant spray. Expression. Sheldon's insincere, thanks, followed by an immediate demand for Penny to leave, highlighting his social hypocrisy when his fears are activated. Leonard's accurate prediction about the Lysol and Sheldon's unapologetic, what, when caught, fully establishes his extreme germophobia and social disregard. Scene. The kitchen. Leonard. What the hell are you doing? Sheldon. I'm making petri dishes to grow throat cultures. Leonard. With lime jello? Sheldon. I need a growth medium, and someone polished off the apricot yogurt. Scientific concepts. Petri dishes, throat cultures, growth medium, basic microbiology tools and concepts. Expression. Sheldon's bizarre and unhygienic scientific preparations. using household items, lime jello, as a substitute for lab equipment, highlighting his obsessive self-diagnosis and the extreme nature of his germophobia. Sheldon. Leonard. If I'm going to get ahead of this thing, I need to find out what's growing in my throat. Leonard. Sheldon, you are not sick. This is, but you are not. Sheldon. We have no idea what pathogen Typhoid Penny has introduced into our environment. And having never been to Nebraska, I'm fairly certain that I have no cornhusking antibodies. Cultural, medical reference. Typhoid Penny, cornhusking antibodies. Typhoid Mary was a notorious asymptomatic carrier of typhoid fever. Cornhusking refers to Nebraska's agricultural identity. Expression. Sheldon's dramatic and scientifically inaccurate labeling of Penny as Typhoid Penny and his exaggerated fear of unknown pathogens, humorously linked to Nebraska's identity, demonstrates his hypochondria and overactive scientific imagination. Sheldon. When I'm lying comatose in a hospital relying on inferior minds to cure me, these jello cultures and my accompanying notes will give them a fighting chance. Expression. Sheldon's grandiose and morbid vision of his own inevitable illness and his plan to educate his future, inferior doctors, showcasing his arrogance even in a hypothetical medical crisis. Sheldon. Wait. Handing him a measuring jug, put this in the bathroom. Leonard. What for? Sheldon. I need to measure my fluid intake and output to make sure my kidneys aren't shutting down. Leonard. I mix pancake batter in this. Sheldon. No, that measuring cup has always been for urine. Leonard. You had time to make a label for everything in this apartment, including the label maker, but you didn't have 10 seconds to make one that said urine cup? Sheldon. It's right here on the bottom. Leonard. Huh. I guess I owe the Betty Crocker Company a letter of apology. Cultural reference. Betty Crocker, a brand associated with baking mixes, particularly pancake batter. Expression. This exchange is a classic Big Bang Theory moment, revealing Sheldon's secret unsanitary habits and Leonard's disgusted realization. Sheldon's meticulous labeling of everything except the urine cup, which he claims is labeled on the bottom, is a hilarious demonstration of his peculiar logic and the absurd consequences of living with him. Scene. Sheldon's bedroom. Sheldon. Oh, dear God. Shouting, Leonard. Leonard, I'm sick. Cut to Leonard entering living room in panic, stumbling and trying to put on a pair of trousers. Sheldon, voice off, Leonard. Leonard, I'm sick. Leonard grabs jacket and leaves through front door. Expression. Sheldon's dramatic and loud pronouncement of his illness immediately sends Leonard into a panicked flight response, highlighting the toxic impact Sheldon's hypochondria has on Leonard. Sheldon. Leonard. 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 Leonard, my comforter fell down, and my sinuses hurt when I bend over. Leonard? Bends to get phone, ow. Leonard, voice on phone, hey. Sheldon. Leonard, where are you? Leonard, running downstairs, I'm at work. Sheldon. At 6:30 in the morning? Leonard. Yes. Sheldon. On Sunday? Leonard. Yes. Sheldon. Why? Leonard. They asked me to come in. Sheldon. Well, I didn't hear the phone ring. Leonard. They texted me. Expression. Sheldon's immediate and relentless demands for Leonard's presence, followed by Leonard's series of increasingly flimsy excuses, working early on a Sunday, textual summons, underscore Leonard's desperation to escape Sheldon's illness-induced clinginess. Sheldon. Well, as I predicted, I am sick. My fever has been tracking up exponentially since 2 a.m., and I am producing sputum at an alarming rate. Leonard. No kidding? Sheldon. No. Not only that, it has shifted from clear to milky green. Scientific jargon. Exponentially, sputum. Mathematical and medical terms used to describe his symptoms dramatically. Expression. Sheldon's dramatic and highly technical self-diagnosis, reveling in the precise and gross details of his illness. Leonard's dry, no kidding, shows his resignation. Leonard. Drink whatever you want. Sheldon. I want soup. Leonard. Then make soup. Sheldon. We don't have soup. Leonard. I'm at work, Sheldon. A woman enters the apartment building with a barking dog. Sheldon. Is that a dog? Leonard. Yes, Sheldon. In the lab? Leonard. Yes, they're training dogs to operate the centrifuge for when they need dogs to operate the centrifuge for blind scientists. I have to go. Scientific equipment. Centrifuge. A laboratory device that separates fluid components. Expression. Sheldon's relentless demands for soup, met by Leonard's increasing exasperation. Leonard's final, utterly absurd lie about dogs operating centrifuges for blind scientists is a testament to his desperation to get off the phone and escape Sheldon. Scene. Howard's bedroom. Howard's mother, voice, Howard, it's the phone. Howard. I know it's the phone, Ma, I hear the phone. Howard's mother. Well, who's calling at this ungodly hour? Howard. I don't know. Howard's mother. Well, ask them why they're calling at this ungodly hour. Howard. How can I ask them when I'm talking to you? Into phone, hello. Expression. The immediate establishment of Howard's codependent relationship with his unseen mother, with her incessant nagging and his frustrated, and still childlike, responses. Leonard. Howard, it's Leonard, code Milky Green. Howard. Dear Lord, not Milky Green. Leonard. Affirmative, with fever. Expression. The reveal of a pre-established, Sheldon is sick, alert system, code Milky Green, indicating a past history of such dramatic events. Howard's immediate, dramatic reaction, Dear Lord, not Milky Green, underscores the severity of a sick Sheldon. Howard's mother, were you playing with him? Howard. For God's sake, Ma, I'm 26 years old. Howard's mother. Excuse me, Mr. Grown up. Whata y'all want for breakfast? Howard. Chocolate milk and Eggos, please. Cultural reference. Eggo waffles. A brand of frozen waffles popular with children. Expression. Howard's mother's infantilizing question, and Howard's immediate reversion to a childlike state. When asked about breakfast, demonstrating his arrested development in relation to his mother. Sheldon. I need soup. Howard, imitating his mother's voice. Howard sleeping, this is his mother. Why are you calling at this ungodly hour? Sheldon. I need soup. Howard. Then call your own mother. Expression. Howard's quick thinking and imitating his mother's voice to deter Sheldon, showing his cleverness when motivated to avoid Sheldon's demands. Sheldon's single-minded focus on soup reinforces his current state. Howard. It's my own fault, I forgot the protocol we put in place after the great ear infection of '06. Expression. The mention of the great ear infection of '06 reinforces the idea of past dramatic incidents involving Sheldon's illnesses and their need for elaborate protocols to deal with him. Leonard. You call Kuthrapalli, we need to find a place to lay low for the next 18 to 24 hours. Howard. Stand by. Ma, can my friends come over? Howard's mother. I just had the carpets steamed. Howard. That's a negatory. But there's a Planet of the Apes marathon at the New Art today. Leonard. 5 movies, 2 hours apiece. It's a start. Cultural reference. Planet of the Apes marathon, New Art, a film franchise in a type of movie screening. Expression. The guy's immediate decision to flee Sheldon and the absurd lengths they go to, a marathon of movies, to avoid him. Howard's mother's refusal due to steamed carpets is another funny detail of her controlling nature. Scene. The Cheesecake Factory. Waitress. Homeless crazy guy at table. 18. Penny. No, just crazy. Expression. The waitress's blunt, and mostly accurate, assessment of Sheldon, and Penny's slightly more charitable, but still accurate, correction, showing her familiarity with his eccentricities. Sheldon. I'm sick, thank you very much. Penny. How could you have gotten it from me? I'm not sick. Sheldon. You're a carrier. All these people here are doomed. You're doomed. Expression. Sheldon's dramatic and self-pitying declaration of illness, followed by his doomsday proclamation to Penny and the restaurant patrons, blaming Penny as a carrier. Penny, over Sheldon's strange throat clearance, why didn't you just? Louder throat clearance, why didn't you just have soup at home? Sheldon. Penny, I have an IQ of 187, don't you imagine that if there were a way for me to have had soup at home I would have thought of it? Penny. You can have soup delivered. Sheldon. I did not think of that. Clearly febrile delirium is setting in, please bring me some soup while I still understand what a spoon is for. Scientific jargon. Febrile delirium. A state of altered mental function due to fever. Expression. Penny's repeated attempts to ask a logical question are interrupted by Sheldon's bizarre throat clearing. Sheldon's arrogant retort about his IQ is immediately undercut by Penny's simple, obvious solution: soup delivered, forcing him to admit he's experiencing febrile delirium, a rare moment of humility. Sheldon. Well, my mother used to make me this split pea with little frankfurter slices and these homemade croutons. Penny. We have chicken tortilla and potato leek. Sheldon. Can I get any of those with little frankfurter slices and homemade croutons? Penny. No. Sheldon. Then surprise me. Blows nose into handkerchief. Shows it to next table. Would you call that moss green or forest green? Expression. Sheldon's highly specific and nostalgic request for soup, which Penny cannot fulfill. His subsequent gross display of his mucus and attempt to get strangers to classify its color highlights his total disregard for social norms when sick. Scene. The cinema. Howard. Look at this, everyone went chimp. Raj. Well, I'd like to point out, I voted for orangutan, but you shouted me down. Phone rings. Cultural reference. Chimp, orangutan. Types of apes. Expression. The guy's embrace of the Planet of the Apes theme by wearing masks, with Raj's specific preference for orangutan, underscoring their dedication to their nerdy escape. Leonard, to Howard and Raj, Sheldon's at the Cheesecake Factory. Into phone, just tell him to go home. Penny. He won't leave, he says he's afraid he'll pass out on the bus and someone will harvest his organs. Expression. Sheldon's paranoia and elaborate fear of organ harvesting, again illustrating his overactive imagination and distrust of the outside world. Leonard, to Howard and Raj, he's paranoid, and he's established a nest. Penny. Can you please come get him? Leonard. Yeah, I'd be happy to. Penny holds phone up. Howard makes warning siren noises. Oh my god, there's a breach in the radiation unit. Raj joins in. The whole city is in jeopardy. Oh my god, Professor Guggenfeld is melting. Gotta go. Bye. Expression. Leonard's attempt to use extreme and fabricated circumstances to avoid picking up Sheldon, with Howard and Raj enthusiastically joining in with sound effects and dramatic pronouncements, showing their collective dedication to avoiding Sheldon. Leonard, to Howard and Raj, I feel really guilty. Raj. You did what you had to do. Steals some of Howard's popcorn. Howard. Take your stinking paws off my popcorn, you damn dirty ape. Cultural reference. Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape, a famous line from Planet of the Apes. Expression. Leonard's momentary guilt is quickly dismissed by Raj, who then steals Howard's popcorn, leading to Howard's immediate and highly fitting Planet of the Apes quote, perfectly blending the film's theme with their current situation. Scene. The stairwell. Penny. Oh, it's okay, I didn't really need to work today, it's not like I have rent or car payments or anything. Sheldon. Good. Expression. Penny's sarcastic remark about her lack of financial responsibilities, which Sheldon completely misses, taking her words literally and validating her forced kindness. Sheldon. Well, of course, but not by myself. Penny. Really, never? Sheldon. Well, once. When I was 15 and spending the summer at the Heidelberg Institute in Germany. Penny. Studying abroad? Sheldon. No, visiting professor. Anyway, the local cuisine was a little more sausage-based than I'm used to, and the result was an internal blitzkrieg with my lower intestine playing the part of Czechoslovakia. Historical reference. Heidelberg Institute, Blitzkrieg, Czechoslovakia, a renowned German university town. Blitzkrieg, lightning war, was a German military tactic. Czechoslovakia was a country invaded by Nazi Germany. Expression. Sheldon's revelation of a past illness, leading to a hilariously over-the-top and historically inaccurate, but geographically specific, analogy. For his digestive issues, his visiting professor status at age 15 highlights his extraordinary intelligence. Sheldon. No, my mom had to fly back to Texas to help my dad because the house had slipped off the cinder blocks again. Penny. Again? Sheldon. It was tornado season. And it was an aluminium house. Expression. A glimpse into Sheldon's unusual childhood, revealing his family's eccentricities, a house repeatedly slipping off cinder blocks, being made of aluminum, and the impact of his mother's frequent absences. Sheldon. Anyway, the housekeeper in the faculty residence didn't speak any English. When I finally managed to convince her I was sick, she said, "Möchtest du eine Darmspiegelung?" Penny. What does that mean? Sheldon. Based on what happened next. I assume it means, would you like an enema? German phrase. Möchtest du eine Darmspiegelung? German for, would you like an enema? Expression. The shocking and hilarious reveal of Sheldon's traumatic childhood experience with an enema, framed in his literal interpretation of the German phrase. Penny. Okay, sweetie, I'll take care of you, what do you need? Sheldon. Well, my mom used to give me sponge baths. Penny. Okay, ground rules, no sponge baths, and definitely no enemas. Sheldon. Agreed. Expression. Penny, out of sympathy, agrees to care for him, but immediately sets firm boundaries based on his past bizarre, and unpleasant, medical history, which Sheldon quickly accepts. This shows a rare moment of compromise from Sheldon when he is genuinely vulnerable. Scene. The cinema. Howard. Sorry. Crunching sound. Found him. Leonard. Oh great. Howard. Sorry, don't you have a spare? Expression. Howard's casual destruction of Leonard's glasses, demonstrating his occasional carelessness. Raj. Well, if you leave now, you can be back before the gorillas rip the crap out of Charlton Heston. Howard. Unless Sheldon's there, in which case you'll be trapped forever in his whiny hyper-neurotic snot web. Expression. Raj's immediate calculation of travel time, and Howard's vivid and disgusting description of Sheldon's sick person behavior, whiny hyper-neurotic snot web, emphasizing why they're avoiding him. Leonard. He's home, I'm screwed. 10.5 hours of a pay blurriness. Raj. How about LASIX? Leonard. You want me to get eye surgery? Raj. Would you rather go back to the apartment and deal with Sheldon, or have a stranger carve out your corneas with a laser beam? Howard. Well? Leonard. I'm thinking. Medical reference. LASIK. A type of laser eye surgery. Expression. Leonard's extreme dilemma, enduring a long movie blind or facing. Sheldon. Raj's casual suggestion of LASIK, and his deadpan comparison of eye surgery to dealing with Sheldon, highlights the extreme lengths they would go to avoid a sick Sheldon. Leonard's, I'm thinking, is the ultimate comedic punchline, showing the depth of his desperation. Scene. Sheldon's bedroom. Sheldon. Will you please rub this on my chest? Penny. Oh, Sheldon, can't you do that yourself? Sheldon. VapoRub makes my hands smell funny. Penny. But Sheldon. Sheldon. Please, 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 please. Penny. I can't believe I'm doing this. Expression. Sheldon's childish and insistent demands for Penny to rub VapoRub on his chest, using a petty excuse about the smell on his hands. Penny's reluctant compliance highlights her growing, and often self-sacrificing, affection for him. Sheldon. No, no, counterclockwise or my chest hair mats. Penny. Sorry. Sheldon. Can you sing, Soft Kitty? Penny. What? Sheldon. My mom used to sing it to me when I was sick. Penny. I'm sorry, honey, I don't know it. Sheldon. I'll teach you. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur, happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr purr purr. Now you. Penny, after a loud sigh, soft kitty, warm kitty. Sheldon. Little ball of fur. Keep rubbing. Penny. Through gritted teeth, little ball of fur. Expression. Sheldon's specific, and obsessive, instructions for the VapoRub, immediately followed by his request for the Soft Kitty song, revealing a vulnerable, childlike side to him when he's sick. Penny's initial reluctance and eventual, begrudging participation in the song highlights her growing, though often exasperated, care for him. This song becomes a recurring motif for Sheldon's comfort. Scene. The living room door, a fiber optic camera emerges from underneath. Leonard. What do you see, what do you see? Raj. The living room appears to be empty. Leonard. Okay, he must be in his bedroom. My spare glasses are in my bedroom, on my dresser, next to my bat signal. Cultural reference. Bat signal. The iconic distress signal for Batman. Expression. The guy's elaborate, high-tech infiltration plan to retrieve Leonard's glasses, demonstrating their ingenuity and paranoia when dealing with Sheldon. Leonard's reference to his bat signal adds to the nerdy absurdity. Howard. One more thing. This is a subsonic impact sensor. If Sheldon gets out of bed and starts to walk, this device will register it and send a signal to the laptop. At that point, based on the geography of the apartment and the ambulatory speed of a sick Sheldon, you'll have 7 seconds to get out, glasses or no glasses. Scientific concept. Subsonic impact sensor, ambulatory speed, technical terms used to describe their elaborate warning system. Expression. The creation of an overly complex and precise warning system for Sheldon's movement, showcasing their scientific intellect applied to a mundane, but for them, critical, task. The 7 seconds escape window adds to the tension. Howard. No, you'll be on your hands and knees. Now you'll need to get the sensor as close as you can to Sheldon's room. Leonard. Well, how'd I carry it if I'm on my hands and knees? Cut to Leonard entering apartment on hands and knees, carrying the sensor in his teeth. Expression. The literal, and humiliating, execution of Howard's plan, with Leonard carrying the sensor in his teeth, highlighting his desperation and the lengths he'll go to. Howard. Stay low. Bare left. Now keep true. Leonard. What? Howard. It means go straight. Leonard. Then just say go straight. Howard. You don't go straight when you're giving bearings, you say keep true. Expression. Howard's insistence on precise navigational jargon even in this absurd scenario, and Leonard's frustrated plea for simpler language, highlighting their differing communication styles. Leonard. It wasn't on? Howard. No. Leonard. Then why did I have to crawl? Howard. Oh, I guess you didn't. Expression. The punchline of the elaborate plan, a pointless humiliation for Leonard, orchestrated, unintentionally, by Howard. Penny. You rat bastard. Howard, running downstairs with Raj, told you the sensor would work. Leonard. Hi. Expression. The sensor correctly detects Penny, not Sheldon, revealing her presence. Penny's immediate, angry confrontation of Leonard for abandoning her with Sheldon, and Howard's triumphant, and oblivious, declaration that the sensor worked, leads to another awkward social moment. Penny, handing him VapoRub. Here you go, good luck, bye. Leonard. Wait. Sheldon. Leonard, I'm hungry. Leonard. Wait. Penny. Take me with you. Runs after her and bumps into pillar. Falls semi-conscious to the floor. Sheldon appears in his comforter. Sheldon. I want grilled cheese. Expression. Penny's quick escape, dumping the care for Sheldon back onto Leonard. Leonard's desperate attempt to escape, followed by his comical collapse, and Sheldon's immediate, emotionless demand for food, perfectly encapsulates the overwhelming burden of a sick Sheldon. Sheldon. Do you think Penny will come here and take care of us? Leonard. I don't think Penny's ever coming here again. Sheldon. I'm very congested. Leonard. Yeah, so? Sheldon. Can you go to the kitchen, and get me the turkey baster labeled mucus? Leonard. If I stand, I'll vomit. Sheldon. Under the sink, yellow Tupperware bowl. Expression. Leonard's resigned despair about Penny's return, followed by Sheldon's final, disgusting demand for a mucus baster, which pushes Leonard to the brink of vomiting. Sheldon's extremely specific instructions show his control even in his sick state, and Leonard's final, defeated response indicates his total surrender.